Hello everybody, my name is Postbase and welcome to my worst nightmare, Reddit. We are doing the no sleep, as you can see up here. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm doing, why I'm doing this, I don't know why. Greenie kind of suggested it to me. It is 11:15 p.m. In fact, let me just check OBS real quick. Alright, good. OBS is going fine. I just want to make sure because OBS has been having problems. So, for those of you who do not know, actually, recently, I'm going to get this out of the way. Greenie has reached 1,000 subs literally tonight. He reached it tonight. So go wish him a congratulations. And someone just opened my front door. I assume it was my brother or my mom. But anyway, though, this is going to be a lot of fun. So, I'm scared. I'm going to try and do at least 2 of these. So, let's go ahead and do this. So, we're going to be doing pickles first. And I'm kind of a little bit scared. Jesus. Ugh, sorry for that. But anyway. I don't have any children of my own. So I thought on my 4-year-old niece, Danielle, I don't know how to say that, I'm sorry, as if she was my own. One day, I hope to be the cool aunt she can trust with those problems that she can't talk to her mom about for fear of being punished. I fully expect to be the one she comes to with questions when she sneaks her first sip of beer. I can almost see it. Ew, Aunt Josie, why do adults drink this? It's gross. Danny is my brother Roberto's daughter. Her mother Sarah is a good mom, but she has anxiety, and it gets overwhelmed. Oh, and gets overwhelmed, sorry. So I get called to come pick up Danny and take her out so her parents can have a beer and a few quiet hours to catch up on their Hulu shows. That's pretty neat, and probably some other things as well to catch up on, if you know what I mean. Sorry if you hear anything. The day this whole thing started was like any other day. Danny Auntie day. It was a Sunday, and I took Danny to her favorite burger joint. Aww. I wish my aunt take me to my favorite burger joint, but she doesn't. I'm sorry, Aunt Nancy. If you're watching this, I'm very sorry. She had a single burger, extra pickles, no fries, and a high C, of course. Then we went to the Goodwill for toys. I usually just take her to Target, but sometimes I like to take her to Goodwill, so I can introduce her to the vintage toys I grew up with. I have some vintage toys that some kids nowadays don't have. I feel old for having them. Okay, so after a few minutes in the toy aisle of the Goodwill, she set us on a small aquarium with a bag of those sea monkeys that disappointed children for generations. I decided to be forthcoming with her and warn her that those sea monkeys would look like they do on the package. I tell her they are just tiny brine shrimp and that this package is so old I don't even think she'll be able to hatch them. She insists on wanting to try it anyway. She looks up at me with that smile that reminds me of Roberto's when he was little, and I was his overprotective sister. At $3, I figured we have nothing to lose. However, I insist she pick out a second toy so she can have something else to play with in case the sea monkeys don't turn out. First of all, sea monkeys at a Goodwill? Okay. I wish I could find something like that at the Goodwill, but I never do. But anyway, she goes to rummage through the stuffed animal bin. Oh my goodness. The stuffed animal bin. I don't know about you guys, but I have a stuffed animal thing all the way in that back right from my childhood. I still have some. I got this Figaro cat. It's actually a legitimate Figaro stuffed animal cat that literally says Figaro on its tag because it has a tag it says. I got that from a Goodwill and that was great. She finds most of them are at least a bit raggedy and dirty, but somewhere in the middle of the bin she finds a pink bunny in new condition. Why do I have a feeling this is about the pink bunny and not the sea monkeys? But anyway, the bunny has an oversized head, floppy ears, and beautiful big eyes. Oh, it's definitely about the bunny. It's definitely about the bunny. The tag is still on, so I figure someone must have donated it to Goodwill as charity. On the car ride home, I ask her what she wants to name her new friend. Sorry. She picks up the bunny and looks at it for a minute. She finally blurts out, "Pickles." I knew it. It's about the bunny. Please, may this not be like Chucky and the bunny literally murders the entire family. I call Sarah after work the next day to check on the progress of the sea monkey. She tells me Danny forgot all about the sea monkeys because she loved her new bunny Pickles so much. She tells me Danny, Pickles, and a couple of stuffed animals are having a tea party outside. I ask if she can send me a picture. She offers to put the messenger call on video instead and turns the phone around. I can see Danny and her cadre, I have no idea how to say that, of tea party attendees sitting around the small wooden table Roberto made for her. I watch Danny make animated gestures with her arms as if she's telling a story. Sarah tells me that she's never been this excited about a new stuffed animal. She seems to really be taking a shine to Pickles. Okay. So far so good. You know, it's like any horror film would be when you get something new. You know, it goes so well the first couple of days, and then it starts to fall about. The next day, I get a text from Sarah. Danny seems more attached to Pickles than other stuffed animals she had. Yeah? How so? She won't go anywhere without him. She brought him to the kitchen at dinner. She plopped him up on the toilet at bath time. And she even designated the chair in her room as his seat. Okay, now that's just creepy enough. That's a little weird. Let me just scroll up. Maybe she just needs more friends. Is she making any friends yet since she started school? No, she's a little, introvert like your brother. Introvert? Okay. Well, maybe I should start taking her to the park more. She talks to the kids there sometimes. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Yeah, it would probably do her good to interact more with other kids. The next day arrives, and I get another concerned text from Sarah. Danny told me that Pickles tells her he used to be a kid just like her. Oh, so she's really fleshing out a story for Pickles. That's kind of creepy. Yeah, but it started to creep me out. Last night I woke up because I thought I heard whispering in her room. I went to check on her, and she was sleeping soundly. However, Pickles was on her bed, facing her, not on his chair. Okay, that's creepy enough. It was as if they had been having a conversation. I swear, I heard another voice in there. I'm just looking around my room real quick. I'm a little terrified at the moment, but I do not get scared easily. Does the school have a counselor? Maybe it's time to talk to a counselor. The next day, I don't get a text from Sarah until nighttime. I talked to the school counselor. The counselor said this sort of thing is common in children her age. This is the age children are starting to see themselves in relation to the rest of the world. He asked me if Danny was having any other behavioral issues. I said no. The typing dots appear indicating she hasn't finished her message yet. Then she continues. But today she became very territorial. Okay. That's not a good sign. During her tea party, you know she generally doesn't like people joining her tea parties without asking, but she will always let me join if I ask. Well, today, Roberto asked if she could join her tea party, and she actually yelled no. I replied, "That's so weird. I wonder if something else is going on. I'll come over and talk to her tomorrow since it's Friday, okay?" Yeah, I know it's stupid, but I wonder if it's haunted, maybe with the previous owner's soul. Okay. First of all, to say that is kind of stupid. I understand this is kind of actually really kind of creepy, but I keep looking over to my stuffed animal bin, just making sure no stuffed animals are gonna crawl out of there. Um, very scared. Okay, so where was I? Lord, I highly doubt that. Well, I want to throw the damn thing away, but she's so attached to it. I need to tread carefully. Friday arrives and I drive over to talk to Danny after work. Sarah comes to the door to let me in and tells me Danny is taking her bath. We headed to the bathroom. Pickles is propped up on the toilet seat facing her. There are scribbles on the wall from where she drew with washable bath time paint. She sees me and exclaims excitedly, "Aunt Josie." There is a little stick figure girl, a little stick figure boy, and a crudely drawn red bunny. Wait, but I thought the bunny was pink. Hmm. There is no pink color in her paint palette, so I assume the bunny to be Pickles. I look over at Sarah, who has now sat down on the bathroom floor. She shrugs and looks at me with a look of surrender. I look at Danny and then at the drawing. Oh, what an awesome drawing! You're getting so good. Is that you? I pointed to the brown-haired stick figure. Yep. I wanted to draw my green bow, but I don't think I can. That's okay, I can draw it for you. But first, tell me about the rest of the drawing. That's Pickles, right? I point to the bunny. Yep, and that's the boy that lives inside Pickles. As she points to the stick figure boy. That's a little bit creepy, but okay. It's like those movies to where there's something that the girl or boy has, but only they can understand it, and they start drawing things that represent it, like people or whatever. It's like that movie. I forget what the movie is, but it's the movie where people start dying, and this girl and boy can decipher when people are dying and how many die, which is very creepy. I regret not giving this more urgency earlier in the week when Sarah first told me. I looked at Sarah, who is now wide-eyed. And nodding as if saying, I told you this was weird. She's right. This whole thing is much weirder in person. I look over at Pickles, who is very much still sitting quietly on top of the toilet. I motioned for Sarah to come outside the bathroom for a minute. In a hushed tone, I offer to take Donnie to the park so we can talk some more. She tells me that the boy used to come to his park. To this park. She tells me that he was bad and couldn't come back to the park for a long time, but that now he comes back. I look around at the playground. There's kids going down slides, kids being pushed on swings by their parents, nothing looking out of the ordinary. But I suddenly get this distinct feeling we are being watched. I start looking around. It's very creepy. Because I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I have a door right here. It's a sliding door, and I have another one right there. Because this goes to the computer room. It's blocked by my L desk. But this one is my only other door out, and it goes to my kitchen. In fact, I'm actually probably just going to turn this light on just a little bit. Just dim it a tiny bit. Just so that I can see over here a little bit. I'll put it on too, actually. In fact, let me just check OBS real quick. Yeah, there we go. Just so I could see back here a little bit more, because it is pretty dark in that corner. But yeah. We're being watched. Okay, I already had that feeling during Danny's bath, but it is even more intense now. A shiver runs through me, and even though it's May in Texas. That night I offered to sleep over at my brother's and help him and Sarah figure out more about what's happening in the morning. They give me a pillow and a thin blanket, and I lay down on the couch to sleep. I wake up at some point throughout the night to see Danny tiptoeing towards the front door in her dinosaur's pajamas. Sorry. I drowsily cry out, Danny, what are you doing? She looks around, then leans down next to me as if whispering a secret. Pickles said he doesn't like closed doors. Okay, enough was enough. I bolt upright and scramble over to her. I tell her we need to wake her mom and dad. She protests, but I pick her up anyway and rush to the master bedroom with her in my arms. I wake up Roberto and Sarah. Okay, now that's pretty weird. I don't like closed door. What though? I have a feeling that they're about to be brutally murdered. They come to the living room, and I catch them up on the events. Roberto tells Danny how disappointed he is in her. Danny looks down at the floor. Her lips start trembling as if she's about to cry. I ask Danny if I can see Pickles for a minute. We all go to her bedroom. Pickles is in his chair facing us. I pick him up. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. We've all seen Chucky, or at least familiar with the premise. A good guy doll is possessed by a malevolent spirit of a serial killer and uses the body of the doll to continue his murder spree. I hope that is not what was happening here. I had hoped that if the bunny was haunted, it was haunted by the spirit of a little boy who just wanted friends. Now I wasn't so sure. While inspecting Pickles, I realized he felt a little heavier than most stuffed animals, but that wasn't what scared me the most. What scared me the most is what I felt behind his neck. There was an unusually thick seam sewn into the back of his neck. I turned him around and noticed that indeed it appeared someone's had cut Pickles' neck open in the back and sewn it back on. I told Danny that I would go open the front door like Pickles wanted, and to stay here with her parents. I gave Roberto and Sarah a look and a nod that indicated that I would do no such thing. That I simply needed to get the bunny away from Danny so I could inspect it further. While I kept Danny busy in her bedroom, I looked in the junk drawer in the kitchen for scissors. I found them. I had used the scissors in the drawer before to set up Danny's piñata. Oh, I love piñatas. I haven't actually had one for like my last piñata was actually when I was 12. I'm 16 now, so that was like 4 years ago, which kind of sucks. I actually, oh, you know what? I'm gonna ask my mom for a piñata for my next birthday. On her fourth birthday. I looked at Pickles in the eye one last time, expecting him to protest my dissecting him. I looked around the kitchen, expecting the lights to suddenly dim or the shadows to start dancing the way people describe in supernatural accounts. I looked into his big sour eyes, expecting to see a glimmer of life, but there is nothing, just translucent brown. But then Pickles speaks in a sing-song child's voice. Please don't hurt me. I dropped Pickles as he suddenly burst. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I have a shiver going down my spine right now, as if he suddenly burst into flames and burned my hands. I shut my eyes and tried to calm myself. I'm not gonna say those first two words because I do not want to do that. But what the hell is going on? I looked down at Pickles' crumpled form of the only I don't know how to say that floor. I'm going to finish this for Danny's sake. I bend down, hands still shaking, and pick up Pickles. I take a deep breath and gently cut through the seam with one hand. I push Pickles' head forward with my other hand to get a look inside. What I found inside made me scream out loud. We called the police. Okay, well that was the end of that. Hang on real quick. You know what? 17 minutes. I think I could fit one more in. I am going to be editing this, obviously. So let's go to the next post. I don't want a super long one. Pool closed until further notice looks pretty short. Probably because probably because the paragraphs are pretty full, but okay, well let's read this. My local outdoor community pool was revamped a few years ago. The generous donors who funded the $1 million facility upgrade provided a large free spray park, a small free splash park, and 2 tall water slides that exited into a large lap pool. My cat's meowing in the other room. It's not creepy because he always does that. I don't know why, but I wish I had a pool like this in my community, but we don't. That sucks. Like, we only have a slide at one of our pools, and we have like 3 pools, which sucks. Actually, sorry, we have 2, but still. Oh my god, my cat's gonna keep meowing. The slides and lap pool was behind a big... Hang on real quick, I'm just gonna let him in here. I'm just gonna turn on my overhead light real quick. Gato, come here. Come here. Come on. You can keep me company. Come here. Oh. There you guys go. Oh, no, it's okay, Gato. It's okay. Alright, well, I have Gato now here to keep me a little bit company. I'm not sure if you guys could see him. Come right here. You guys can probably see him now, but he's a nice kitty. Yeah, you just want to rub against my head, don't you? But you know, you cannot get on my desk, okay? You get on my desk, you're getting kicked out. The slides and lap pool were behind a big fence that you had to pay and be logged in out for entry. You'd enter through the locker room building. Pretty darn secure if you'd ask me. Our town is fairly rural, so having all these fun features for the pool was a big deal for the whole town. The town itself is really small, kind of every town USA. Ever since the facility upgrade, I have always bought a summer pass for the pool because it was only 3 blocks from my house. Wow. However, in a rural area, 3 blocks are actually it's actually a pretty big distance. I love swimming, and especially I love putting on sunglasses and just floating on my back like a float tank. I do that too. Being an adult without any children of my own, I always try to go to the pool when there weren't many kids. I never want to look like a creep, that lady that just floats with all the kids around. Most parents never swim with their kids. They look on from the deck and make a point to stay dry. The lifeguards are mostly teenagers on their summer break, chilling with their sunglasses, quietly absorbing the swimmers. That is true. A lot of pools hire teenagers as lifeguards. I actually have lifeguard training, so... Gator, stop. Gator. Oh, man. Gator is, you know, he likes to lay in my dirty clothes pile. The pool's water slide was the kind... Sorry. Let me just drink some Coke to kind of stay awake more. The pool's water slides were the kind you'd see at a really nice water park. Oh, so like you mean like those very tall ones that like did loop-de-loops and all? One was a bright, shiny red open slide that wound around the stairs and the 3-story tall platform. The other one was a brilliant cobalt blue enclosed tube that was a speed slide with a water chute at the bottom. That's kind of like the one at one of my pools actually, except it's not enclosed, it's open. Most of the kids preferred the blue tube because it was really fast and makes a big wave of water when you come out of the chute. Both slides had a little pool at the top. Yeah, the reason, if you guys want to know why slides should have a little pool at the top, it's to kind of keep the water flow consistent. So then there's a lot of water flow. So if water was to suddenly cut off, there's no problem. And also, so then, you know, it's constantly there, which is kind of great. At least that's what I was taught at my pool, is because, you know, they didn't want water. And also because if you think about the amount of water that's coming through, there's going to be a lot of backflow, and I don't want it to flood as well. A week ago, I went to the pool on a 68-degree overcast day. The kind of weather that didn't attract many families. I hurried through the locker room and into the water. The pool is heated, so the water always stayed the same during any kind of summer weather. I wish it was like that here, because the pool always closes. Well, 2 of the pool closes. One of them's heated, but the other one sucks. The clouds didn't bother me at all. There were 3 other families at the pool, but each family was just a mother and her child or children. There were only 12 people in the whole pool, lifeguards included. I had never seen any of the moms or their kids before that day. There was one mom whose preteen son appeared to be on the autism spectrum. He was nonverbal but absolutely loved being in the water. He was laughing loudly, splashing, and having a blast. She was sitting on the side of the pool deck with her feet in the water, talking to him softly, encouraging him to keep his laughter a little bit more quiet. Leave some laughs for the rest of us, Connor. Connor. I had a friend named Connor. He was a bit of an asshole. True fact. I was floating face up in the middle of the lap pool. His laughs were the kind that filled those around him with joy. Seeing him smiling made me smile. Connor was splashing and started lunging forward to climb out of the pool. He was giggling with his mom before grunting loudly and pointing at the slides. She nodded and started to stand up and grab her phone. The 2 of them walked happily over to the staircase up to the slide platform. Oh, please don't tell me that Connor's going to be killed. Please don't tell me Connor's going to be killed. Hey, don't stop doing that. He scares me when he does that. Connor tugged her hand and pointed up the stairs. as if asking her if she was going to come with him. She patted him on the shoulder and said, "I'll be waiting down here for you. I'll get a great picture that you can send to Grandma." He hesitated and then resigned with a big smile to quickly climbing the stairs alone. The lifeguard at the top of the platform met him with a warm and respectful greeting. "Hi, which slide do you want to ride?" Connor pointed to the bright red one and grinned largely. He was making the same kind of excited whines that a puppy makes when it's ready to play. The teenage girl lifeguard was very kind and got into the staggered pool with him and showed him to keep his ankles crossed and that he could put his hands up in the air like a roller coaster. "Whee!" she said quietly to him as she nodded to him to make sure he was ready to slide down. He nodded enthusiastically as she pushed the button to release footboards so he could start to go down. Connor was laughing very loudly as he swirled around the stairs, splashing his hands upwards at every turn. His mother was ready at the bottom of the slide to take a picture of him. He made a huge wave when he hit the water, and the air was filled with sounds of his joy. He was ecstatic. Sorry. He waded over to the edge and got out of the pool quickly. His mom commented how happy he looked in the pictures. The boy started to point at the blue tube slide. His mom nodded with a smile on her face, so they both walked back to the staircase. Connor didn't hesitate the second time. He ran up the stairs without her. He was eager to slide again. The lifeguard was helping another child down the red slide as Connor stood next to him. Why do I have a feeling he gets stuck in the blue tube? Why do I have that feeling that he just gets stuck? Like, I bet you guys are having the feeling right now too that he's gonna get stuck in it or something. Which, by the way, the probability of that happening is very, very little. So if you ever go to a water slide and you're worried you're gonna get stuck, it's very, very little unless you're super obese. But they're gonna tell you not to go on it if you're too obese or something. So don't worry. I'm gonna sneeze. Whew. Sorry, I felt like I was gonna sneeze. She turned towards him and said, "Ready for another go?" He shook his head yes and wiggled his hand at the other slide. This time she told him, "This one is a little different. Cross your ankles and put your hands on your chest, okay? Like this." And she posed like a mummy, hands crossed over her chest. "You'll go faster if you stay like that." Again, this kind of lifeguard stood in the staging pool and helped Connor get in the right pose. This slide didn't have a foot stop, so she encouraged him to scoot forward until the flow of the water took him down. He was laughing very loudly in a way that the tube slid amplified his joy. His mom waved "come down" as he looked at her from the platform on high. Connor scooted forward and plunged into the tube. Almost as quickly as he scooted into the tube, there was a piercing and scared "Mommy!" Jesus, I knew it. Scream from inside. Then silence, no laughter. The distress of his mother's face was immediate. She readied herself for her son to exit the chute in front of her. She still had her phone in her hand for the pictures she wanted to take. The speed slide normally spits out the rider in about 3 seconds from top to bottom. 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds. The time passing started to feel longer and longer as the mother grew more agitated. The water coming out of the chute grew calm. The lifeguard at the top platform was staring at the chute to make sure he exited the slide, and his mother was starting to look around. The teenage girl shouted, "Where is he?" The mother responded, "Still on the slide." The girl hailed an oil lifeguard to talk to the mother at the chute. Connor still hadn't exited the slide. There was a quick discussion to turn off the water in the slide and crawl down the tube from the top to help Connor out. The water turned off and the older lifeguard put on the deck shoes to help him walk down the tube better. The older lifeguard was a thin and small man, but he was fit and crouched down to descend the slide. Let me tell you, that's kind of scary. The mother was showing her boy, shaking her head and walking around the tube slide to see if she could locate where he was in the slide. There was no direct sunlight, so there were no shadows in the tube. Everyone at the pool is starting to pick up on the situation. The other two mothers started to corral their children and leave quickly. I'm floating up in the lap pool, but I'm now closely watching the mother and two lifeguards. First of all, that's kind of creepy that you're watching, but you don't offer to help. Who does that? Like, I want to hear this from you guys. If you guys saw a problem, would you just stand idly by? Oops, sorry. Or would you actually help? The mother was showing her boy, shaking her head and walking around the tube slide to see if she could locate where he was in the slide. There was no direct. Oh, sorry, I already read that. Connor's mother shrieked when the old lifeguard walked out of the bottom of the tube with absolutely terror on his face. I didn't see anything in there. He's not there. You sure he was in there? Both the mother and the gold lifeguard were adamant. Of course, yes he was. The mother started grabbing her head in fear and screaming, "Where is my son?" Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone would. Her screams caught the attention of the rest of the lifeguards. One was already on the phone with 911 as she trained to do so if there was any incident on the slide. EMTs are on their way, the one shouted at the pool. "We need the police. The kid is missing, not injured." The older lifeguard shouted back. The mother collapsed to the ground, going over the events audibly. "He was just here. I saw him go down the slides." She looked wildly around the fenced facility and started to scream, "Where is Connor? Connor, are you there? Connor, where are you?" I would do this more, but my mom is asleep and I don't want to wake her. The young lifeguard on the platform hurried down to the mother's side, confused and fear plastered on her face. Connor was just a few years younger than her. At this point, I felt incredibly uncomfortable and was already getting out of the pool. The cops were coming. You could hear the sirens from across town. It's that small of a town that you can hear the sirens. Okay. I don't think it's that small of a town. I just think it's not that busy of a town. By the time I grabbed my towel and walked through the locker room, there was one officer stomping through the building onto the pool deck. The officer seemed to know the mother. He touched her shoulder while asking what happened. She explained he wanted to go down the tube slide. He screamed like he never before, and he disappeared. He said my name, and he never says my name. The officer scrunched his face in a "say what," a "say what," "say what" kind of expression, and asked her to calm down. All the lifeguards that were on duty repeated the same explanation. I quickly checked out and exited the building, not even bothering to change in the locker room, and hurried towards my car. The parking lot is right next to the side platform, and I was getting closer to my car. I heard a few lifeguards off to the side discussing, "What do you think it was?" I have no idea. The kid was just here. He couldn't have been abducted. All of the people in the pool were checked out as they left. I got into my car and drove away filled with deep sadness. I have no idea what just happened, but something was completely unreal about the situation. I was trying to think of an explanation for myself the whole night. The next day was 90 degrees and sunny, the kind of day that would have a packed pool, and I drove home from work. I saw a splash and spray park was very busy with lots of young children and parents, but the pool was empty. There was a commercial sizzle lift in the middle of the slide area. It appeared like workers had been disassembling the blue slide all day. As I drove closer to the pool entrance, there was a small handwritten note on the doors on red paper. I could read it at the time. As of today, it's been 6 days since Connors went missing at the pool. No trace of the boy has been found yet. His family started to distribute missing posters of Connor all over the country. Sadly, his biggest missing poster now hangs next to the newly printed sign, "Pool closed until further notice." And my cat Gator here is just laying down as if nothing bad is happening. Isn't that right, boy? But anyway, wow, that was a lot of fun. I never thought it would actually be this fun to do Reddits, especially the no sleep kinds. I think I'm actually going to be able to sleep perfectly fine. Besides the one about the stuffed animals, I might put my stuffed animals in the other room tonight. I don't sleep with them. They're in a basket in the corner, but still, that's kind of creepy. But, anyways, this was fun. I actually really enjoyed doing this. Leave a comment down below if you want me to continue doing this. And also go over to Greeny's channel and wish him a congratulations for reaching 1,000 subs. Remember to hit that like button if you really did enjoy the subreddit. I know I did. And if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Help me get to 50 subs by the end of the summer break. That's my goal. And I really hope to reach that with you guys. But anyway, guys, it has been a lot of fun. And I shall see you in the next one. Peace.